Hi, friends. My name is Patrick Arthur Jackson, and I'm the Vice President of Learning and Engagement at Embracing Our Differences. You may be familiar with EOD from our annual outdoor art exhibition down in Sarasota's Bayfront Park or in St. Petersburg, Florida at Pointer Park. Each and every year, we open a call to artists to submit artwork and quotations that celebrate inclusion, kindness, and respect, and focus on the theme, what does it mean to embrace our differences? Today, we are going to look at just a few of the 50 art pieces and quotations that we selected for our 2026 exhibition. This year, we received over 14,000 submissions from students and adult artists all over the world. Now, it's important today that we remember a few things. Art means something different to everyone. Be sure to respect each other's opinions. And there's no right or wrong answer. We're exploring this art together. We'll be using something called Visual Thinking Strategies, or VTS for short. VTS is a way for us to look, think, and talk about art in a way that puts your creative voice directly into the conversation. So be sure to engage in the conversation and let us know what's going on in this picture and what did you see in the artwork that made you notice what you're sharing.
Some of the things you may see in the artwork include facial expression, focal point, gestures, clothing, setting, or objects.
Everybody ready for our tour? Let's head down to the park.
All right, friends, let's look at our first piece of artwork. It's called Shared Meals, from a student artist in California. As we take a moment to observe the piece, keep in mind some of those things I mentioned earlier. What types of textures, colors, shapes, thoughts, or feelings come to your mind as you're looking at the artwork? We'll take a moment to silently observe the artwork. All right, friends, what's going on in this picture? And what do you see that makes you say that? Teachers, feel free to pause for students to share with the class or with each other. Our next piece is Drawing Togetherness by a student from the Republic of Korea. Let's take a moment to look at our artwork. Thank you, friends. Now, who can raise their hand and tell me what's going on in this picture? Our next piece is Portraits of Friends by an artist from San Diego, California. Let's take a moment to dive into this artwork. All right, friends, what's going on in this picture? And what do you see that makes you say that? Let's take a moment to listen to a few words from our artist, Anna Wang. Anna, take it away.
Hi, my name is Anna Wang, and I'm from San Diego, California of the United States. The inspiration for my piece, Portraits of Friends, comes from students I had the pleasure of teaching this summer in a small camp called Monart Liberty Station. This is the same place where I learned to fall in love with that feeling of graphite against paper or watercolors and the mess they make, so coming back was a joy for me. Beyond the experience of teaching, I learned a lot from the students themselves. Watching them experiment and collaborate with each other so that at the end of class you could see details in the works of one that were reflected in the work of a friend was really rewarding for me to see. Watching them take the same prompt and create unique interpretations that were solely their own was a beauty for me to see. From these students, I learned that to collaborate is to create, that creation is collaboration, and that when we embrace our differences, we are embracing the little attributes that make us unique.
Our next piece is The Most Beautiful Song by an artist from Thailand. Let's take a moment to take in the artwork. All right, friends. What's going on in this picture? Now that we've talked about what we're seeing in the artwork, I'd like to try something new. When I count to 3, I want you to find someone or something to pose like in the picture. Take a moment to look at the artwork one more time. And on the count of 3, we'll pose like the picture. 1, 2, 3. Wow! What amazing poses! Let's move on to our next piece, shall we? Our next piece comes from a student artist from the Republic of Korea called Pedaling as One. Let's take a moment to take in our artwork. Thank you, friends. Now, who can raise their hand and tell me what's going on in this picture?
Hello, my name is Uni and I'm a student in Gyeonggi-Suwon International School. So what I tried to show in the artwork is the sense of unity and cooperation, like people of different ages, backgrounds, and experiences coming together and moving forward on the same journey. The idea behind is that just like riding a tandem bike, progress in life depends on everyone working together and each person's effort contributes to the whole and harmony comes from pedaling as one. I hope this can be a reminder that community and shared purpose make us stronger no matter our differences. Thank you.
Our next piece is called World of Peace by a 10th grader from a country called Kazakhstan. Let's take a moment to observe the artwork. All right, friends. Let's dive into conversation. What's going on in this picture? In addition to the artwork, I'd also like to point out the quote that we paired with this art piece. The quotation selected comes from a 10th grader in Osprey, Florida, at Pineview School. They wrote, "Dulling someone else's pencil will not make yours any sharper." When you think about that quote, dulling someone else's pencil will not make yours any sharper. How does that connect to being kind and respectful to our friends and family? Let's take some time to turn to a partner and discuss. Our next piece of art comes from kindergarten through 5th grade students from Manatee County, Florida, from a school called Gene Witt Elementary. It's entitled All. Let's take a moment to look at this picture. All right, what's going on in this picture?
Hi everyone, my name is Kim Hoy. I am the visual arts teacher here at Gene Witt Elementary in Bradenton, Florida. Our class created the artwork titled All, and when we created this piece, we were focused on how each of us was so unique and wonderful. We hope our art demonstrates that we love us all for who we are. Our differences are what make life so much more interesting for all of us. This piece was created by each student, creating a self-portrait in collage, with paper collage. We then chose 42 pieces that we felt best represented our beautiful community. We combined them in this mural and sprinkled with hearts to show that we love each other and we value our unique qualities. We hope that you enjoy it. Thanks.
Our next piece is entitled Limitless Expression, from a student in California. As we take a moment to observe the piece, keep in mind some of those things I mentioned earlier. What types of textures, colors, shapes, thoughts, or feelings come to your mind as you're looking at the artwork? We'll take a moment to silently observe the artwork. All right, friends, what's going on in this picture? And what do you see that makes you say that? Teachers, feel free to pause for students to share with the class or with each other. Our next piece is called Fit for Life by an adult artist in a country called Belgium. Thank you, friends. Now, who can raise their hand and tell me what's going on in this picture?
Hi, my name is Alan Schroeder. I'm a Belgian photographer and I'm very proud to have my picture Fit for Life exhibited at Embracing Our Differences. So what we see on the picture is two guys. I mean, they are friends, but they're competing each other, and they're competing in the M90 and M95 category, which means over 90 and over 95. This conveys a universal message about inclusion, kindness, and respect. It's not about winning or setting records, it's about personal achievement and also a sense of belonging, because many of these guys have lost already a lot of members of families or friends, and so sports is one way for them to fight against loneliness, depression, and anxiety.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining us for today's tour. We hope that you had a great time exploring just some of our 50 art pieces and quotations in this year's exhibition. There's still time to submit your artwork or quotation for next year's exhibition. Each year, our deadline for submission is July 1st. You can go to our website, www.embracingourdifferences.org, for more information about how you could be in our 2027 exhibition. Until next time, I'm Patrick, here at Embracing Our Differences. Remember to be kind, remember to be respectful, and be inclusive of everyone. Because when we embrace each other's differences, we make a better world. Take care.